What I found most effective, actually, was the fact that it was in digestible chunks, and therefore, if I had spare half an hour, I could slot in a number of them, do that course, and then switch on to the next thing, and then have time to digest it. I think what you don't want to do is have very long modules where you're trying to learn an awful lot, because it's difficult to digest and you will end up being distracted by other things, because obviously I've got a day job to do as well. So what I've found most effective about doing it myself is if you're really focused on wanting to do it, you could do it in digestible chunks, and it makes it easier to learn. Okay, the section tests were really useful for me personally, because I find it the best way I learn is by testing myself, because it reinforces things I'm trying to remember in my brain. So I found the section tests really useful, and when I got something wrong, I would immediately question, well, what did I get wrong? Why did I get it wrong? I'd go back and look into it, and then do the test again. So the section tests were very good, actually, in making sure that I understood exactly what what the module was all about. What I found with the Salem framework is that it filled in a lot of missing pieces that I sort of knew were there, but hadn't been able to articulate. So like a lot of SharePoint architects out there, we know about the product and how it works. And adoption is one of the biggest problems that architects often face post-implementation. And for me, it filled in all those gaps. Now, I like to think that I had some of those pieces already, but the reality was that the Salem framework is detailed and comprehensive, such that that you will always have an answer to any particular issue the customer is faced with around SharePoint adoption. What I liked about it, what I found most enjoyable, was the sense of resonance that I had with the framework, in that it was easy for me to understand and articulate, because it resonated so strongly with the kind of messages that I was sort of talking around anyway, but not as logic, I suppose, not as detailed and as sequential as Salem is. For me, in essence, Salem is a story which allows me to articulate why a company, how and why a company should adopt SharePoint. And that story is incredibly powerful, and it's unique. And that allows an individual like myself, that is a SharePoint architect, that will see lots of customers, to have that powerful story and talk about it to them, such that they understand and want to do business with Dell. Having completed both certifications, I have no hesitation about recommending it for anyone to do who's interested in selling strategy, especially around SharePoint adoption, to any organisation. It gives you something that not many other people have, which is a powerful story that you can make your own. What the Salem framework allows us to do is articulate Dell's end-to-end proposition, such that the customer can see how we can facilitate the Salem strategy with all of our software, hardware and services.